A very warm welcome to our YouTube session. I really hope that you guys are doing well. Now, today's topic of discussion is going to be very interesting because it is one of our very important national movements, all right? That is what we will be discussing. So, this is what our topic is, and this is stages of Quit India movement. Now, you will ask me, ma'am, why do we discuss the stages? Because are there any stages? Yes, there is a number of stages that we have to discuss of the Quit India movement. Let's start with that. Okay, so stage 1. Now, please remember the date, and whatever I'm underlining here is important. So, what is the stage 1? The stage 1 states that it was the most violent phase, which lasted from 9th August to 15th August, right? Why was it a violent phase? Because obviously people took some time to understand that this is not how Gandhiji wanted the movement to continue. Now, it was predominantly very urban in nature, and it saw violent protest in areas like Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad, etc., where the protesters have started attacking telegraph poles, postal services, etc. Okay? Now, the events were very similar to the revolt of 1857, and this phase is remembered as the Great August Revolt. Please remember the name, okay? What is it known as? It is known as your Great August Revolt. Now, stage 2 is from August 1942 to September 1942. What happened in this phase? What was different? So, the center of the movement has shifted to the rural areas. So, in stage 1, the focus was in urban areas, but now it has shifted to the rural areas. The young leaders who were spearheading the movement in the absence of top leadership were forced towards the countryside in the face of strong vigilance in the urban centers. Now, I'm sure you know that as soon as the Quit India movement began, all the Congress leaders, the important Congress leaders who could have made a difference, they were all arrested, right? But Gandhiji had trained his people and his leaders, and they were able to lead even in his absence. This is exactly what happened. They were able to lead in his absence as well. So, these leaders had to shift to the countryside because the Britishers were really vigilant in the urban sectors. Parallel government was established at 3 places, all right, and this was for a very short term. Parallel government in the sense, so government to run these places. So, in Balia, this was in August 1942, and this was for a week. Under Congress leader Chittu Pandey, it was the first parallel government to be formed. Please remember these are important. The parallel governments are important. Next, Tamluk, Medinapur, from December 1942 to December 1944. This government immediately undertook the cyclone relief work. They started sanctioning grants to school and organized what is known as Vidyut Bahinis, and they were known as your Jatiya Sarkar. So, these are important factors, these are important information that you must know. What were they known as? They were known as Jatiya Sarkar. Satara, so Satara, you also have a parallel government over here. This was from mid 1943 to 45. It was named as Prati Sarkar and was organized under leaders like Y.B. Chavan and Nana Patil. Okay, so this parallel government was under the leadership of Y.B. Chavan and Nana Patil. Village libraries and Nyayadan mandals were organized. Prohibition campaigns were carried out, and Gandhi marriages were organized, where scheduled caste or members of the lower caste were also invited in the marriages. This you can see is a big change over here, isn't it? That Gandhi sort of marriages, or marriages where people from the scheduled caste are being invited. This was happening in Satara. Now, it was the longest surviving parallel government after the formation of the Quit India. So, please remember this as well, that this was the longest surviving one. Now, Lastly, we have stage 3. This stage lasted from October 1942 to December 1942. Fine. And this was limited to attacks by educated youth on the police and army installations. So here, who has taken over? Here, the educated students have taken over, and they have started attacking whom? They have started attacking the armed forces and the police installations of the Britishers. Fine. So it was identified by underground activities. So the stage 3 was actually more of underground activities, which was being carried on by young leadership. Fine. So underground activities were carried on by whom? Ram Manohar Lohia, Jaiprakash Narayan, Aruna Asaf Ali, Usha Sharma. She was the one who established the first Congress radio station. Biju Patnaik, Chotu Bhai Puranik. Then you have Achyut Patwardhan, Sucheta Kriplani. Then you have R.P. Goenka. These are people who have made significant contributions to the Quit India movement. They all have their individual contributions, which you must know about, and how they have made their contributions to the Quit India movement is very important. So why were they called underground leaders? Because they were literally working underground. They were doing things which they could not have been done up on the front. So that is what is happening here. So you all know that Usha Mehta started an underground radio station in Bombay. Alright. This phase of underground activity was meant to keep up the popular morale by continuing to provide a line of command and guidance. So people had started losing hope. They did not know whether this movement would be successful, whether this movement could be even achieved or not, isn't it? So what was this stage 3 about? Stage 3 and all its underground activities were more or less meant to provide people with a hope that yes, the movement is still continuing. Yes, the communication lines are still continuing. All right. And these communication channels were used to distribute all sorts of arms and ammunitions as well. Okay. So these are the 3 stages of your Quit India movement. Okay. Please remember the date. Please remember the leaders. Please remember where the movement was focused on, what the movement was focused on, right? The names of the parallel government, okay? And if the revolt has any particular name, then you must remember it, right? So you have to remember the date. You have to remember the name of the leaders. You have to remember the focus of the revolt. You also have to remember why was this happening, right? What was the reason behind? And you have to remember the names of the parallel governments as well, okay? And whatever I have underlined here is very important. So please do not forget to mark them down. Please do not forget to take them down. That's very important that you keep it with you. All right. So that's about it for today's video, guys. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Most importantly, I really hope that you were able to learn things from here. So a lot of you, I'm sure, did not even know that there were stages to Quit India movement, but yes, there were. And all of these stages are important because it has given us different leaders at different points of time, which you must remember. So I have concised it. I've given it to you in the form that is in a tabular form, so it is very concise. It's easier for you to learn. Whenever you are revising, you can just flip through the pages. You can just flip through your notes like this and it will be very easy for you. Okay, that's about it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope that you learned something from it. And I really hope that it will be helpful to you from your exam perspective. If you still have any doubts or any problems, please feel free to drop your doubts in the comment section below and I'll be more than happy to take it up with you all. Alright. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here. It was an absolute pleasure. Till then, this is me, Nikki Sinha, signing off. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.